Good if you don't get engaged on and your front line gets engaged on. Israel can follow really well. It can layer damage in very freely, very safe in general. I like the draft of Hanwha Life Esports more, though. I think it has a very clear theme, just outrange, because your support can just set up your Qs, and that's what we're seeing here. Is Canyon's going to show up at level 4. Delight, half health, has to heal.
Yep, heal going to come through immediately, as there is the Eclipse. They do just decide to go in on the Leona, though, and that was after it wore off. Duro tanks the turret absolutely beautifully. Yeah, this is the problem, though, because we need POM to go to Duro.
I know.
And that's going to be more and more difficult unless he can make something happen here. There it is, Keen picking up the second kill for Gen.G.
Justice for support. Ruler also just hits all of his Qs anyways, but...
Yeah, he does.
He doesn't even need you to be here, Duro. Like, what are you doing? Well, Canyon's going to dive.
Yeah, they're looking for the angle here. Public execution might actually just be Zeus's as Ruler walking on past the turret. The last minion does go down. And does he have the Arcane Shift? The answer is he does not need it. As Delight turns up and he's like, well, what am I supposed to do now?
This is peak Legend Group to correct myself, because you generate a small lead in a lane, especially the bottom lane, and then you just play through it. And all three of these 80 carries, and like all three supports as well, will just bowl you over. You know, it's just, okay, we have a lead here. Let's just keep pushing it. Let's just keep getting this Ezreal further and further ahead. Tries to flash. Ruler does not miss, man.
Yeah, just walks on past him.
Like, Zeus is trying to sidestep. He's like, I'll just auto you.
Yeah. Well, now we've got a cease and desist onto Canyon. He's got the Crescent Guard, but unfortunately everyone's in melee range, so he is just dead. One kill on the board here for HLE. No more perfect game for Gen.G this time, as True Shot Barrage does find a bit of damage onto Peanut. These grubs under fire. HLE will be able to lock down the second one, as Arcane Shift out there from Ruler does miss that Mystic Shot onto Viper, though, and now Peanut will be able to secure the third one. So there's something for HLE.
Yeah, Peanut was just really not interested in smiting that second grub. He's like, I'm saving it for the third, and went down to 1 health.
Earth, Wind, and Fire, we are so close to September, it has to be the case.
Yeah, just a few weeks away.
Yep. Zeus having to deal with the Gully Wall once again, but Keen now in trouble as Peanut turns up. A cheeky little punch towards the Gully Wall, as the Maiden was actually being very annoying to Zeus, as Keen keeps himself alive for a lot longer than I think a lot of us expected, but still will be going down.
Oh, look at where Zeka's like, okay, well, they're going to come get me. They want this first turret so badly. They're on Dragon. Like, do I have time? You can see he was like, not sure. Can I defend this? And they're going to try to rush the light over, but he is just going to have to leave.
Yep, there's
they're racing for it,
that I was talking about. That's fantastic. Zeka does do a little bit of damage to Duro, but he's pretty durable.
So close.
Oh, who's going to be able to get it here? As it does go over to HLE.
That's massive, actually, for them. That really, they get the pick. You know, Zeka doesn't die. He plays respectfully there. You can see he's really trying to decide, like, can I try to slow this wave maybe a little? Okay. That's how you check a bush.
That is how you check a bush, 100%. Yeah, only cowards don't just press R on a potentially occupied brush. And now Keen doesn't know that there is no ult. So he's going to be like, why isn't he ulting me as they put him in the goal? I mean, Keen is really dead. Peanut is going to take a little bit of damage, but otherwise not too much to worry about. Down he will go. Meanwhile, Delight could be in a bit of trouble here. Featherstorm comes out as Duro could also be getting amongst it. True Shot Barrage is going to connect, but it's actually Canyon that takes down the Leona. So a trade of 1-for-1 across the map. You were just foreshadowing.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. As Chovy, you got to be careful, man.
Yep, he does have flash, and he is going to use it, but the flash forward from Zeus to follow is going to mean another dead Rise, and
yeah, a little empty checkbox. Yeah, a little empty checkbox on Kill Ruler.
Yeah,
they are going to kill Herald, and they can try to turn off of this, as there is a TP for Zeka as well. He's going to use it right away.
Yep, Canyon going to dive in, as Peanut also immediately throws down the ulti onto the Xin Zhao. Public execution connects onto him as well. The Canyon was surviving for such a long time, but still, these health bars are melting. Ruler has to get over the wall, as unfortunately Duro not going to be able to do anything here. And the Rift Herald does go over at the same time. It's picked up by Zeka of all people as well, who can now throw it down mid lane.
Big swing of gold here, plus the Herald, like you said, just going to get tossed in. It's going to guarantee this mid turret, which is going to be an even larger swing of gold now for the side of Hanwha Life, and they may even be able to get an additional charge here with the late respawns. They'll think better of it. They'll decide to just let it go through. But the setup was way better for Hanwha Life Esports there, and their comp actually excels win the enemy team has to kind of rush towards an appeal. Look at Viper, just free hitting, taking Keen out, and Ruler has to get out of the pit.
Oh dear. Well, Chovy is between some worlds, as we can see. Trying to phase rush his way out. We'll see whether that will allow him to escape. And I think the answer is it just won't. As Death is a pretty good form of CC.
Yeah, he does use his pretty long cooldown ultimate here as well to try to get out.
Information over to Gen.G, but it will just allow them to be spectators.
I mean, look at Zeus. He's like, are they going to try something here? And he's like, I guess not. Nope. And he just walks up and hits the turret, and they get the dragon. You can see the Yorick push on the top side here. Spawn, especially with the jungle that is bottom side.
I mean, it is there.
It is there, but it's not relevant yet.
No.
And all of the vision is Hanwha's there.
3 turrets as well. A lot of extra map control being gained just from that, as the Rift Herald is going to get started up. Immediately is spotted here by Gen.G, who are in the vicinity of this one.
There's that TP from Chovy, but he's late.
Yeah, a lot of buttons available here. Shield of Daybreak does come on through, and down goes the Rise! Oh man, welcome to the party, Chovy. Maybe you didn't really want to be here. As Canyon will see whether he can actually be in position to get a smite down as the feathers are in position. Canyon gets on in. There is a great Crescent Guard, but Peanut finds the smite this time around the goalie wall. Actually getting some work done as Delight still keeping himself alive. And yeah, Ruler is doing a fair bit of damage, but unfortunately it's not quite meaningful, and Zeka finds the back line. Ruler Arcane shifting to try and escape, and unfortunately even with all that damage, he is still dead. A clean ace for HLE.
It looks like HLE are primed to take one of their first big wins here. Again, question mark?
Yeah, Zeus is going to chase after him. There's a public execution. And Chovy just going to see whether he can Realm Warp his way out, and he does manage to do so. Very, very nicely done.
That's pretty big to get the Realm Warp out of Chovy again. Just with that alone, the Rise can't show up. And there's no cross-map opportunity. Well, that was, frankly, a little bit close for comfort.
A little bit scary. If Peanut actually had have gone for his, like, punch smite combo, super relevant here, as Zeka now finally does have a gold advantage despite it. As Peanut, possible engage option, but the Solar Flare going to be avoided by Ruler. Cease and Desist does come in, and the exhaust is down as well. Chovy moves over, wants to do some of the damage, and Ruler stays alive for quite some time. Still, it doesn't matter. The bottom lane is still obliterated, and Keen a little late to the party.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how much fancy footwork you've got, doesn't matter how quick you can shift away, you're just going to get steamrolled by this Hanwha Life Esports comp that is so far ahead. Chovy survives, but they're just going to get a consolation red buff here. Canyon does have flash, but I don't know if he really wants to risk it for this one, and Zeka's just going to check just in case. Realm Warp?
It is a Realm Warp opportunity, as Canyon's like, nah, brother, I don't really feel like doing that. They do dive in on top of Zeka. They find the Aurora. It's a lot of damage as Peanut likely to get wiped out, and there's the teleport back in from Duro, but now Viper has found his target. The triple kill as soon as he flashes over. And Delight is now just keeping this Baron interested. Duro doesn't have a smite at the ready or any funny business like that, so it will just be the Baron secured. Delight almost falling, but does have the Eclipse.
The situation was so funny. It's just one of those Viper moments where he's like,
use it for what it was designed for. As Zeka just wanders past this turret and says, no, Gen.G, this is ours. And it absolutely is.
And Chovy gets a little bit of push on the top side, but here's an engage.
Yeah, Magnus Storm to come on through there. As a public execution down on just Duro is not something that Duro really cares about. Let's see whether Zeus can survive. That's 11 dashes that he's used so far. Rune Prison not going to be dashed out of this time around though, as Gen.G I think should be able to take that one. Still, Cease and Desist.
Wait a minute.
Does come on through. There's Between Worlds as Ruler desperately trying to keep himself alive, but it does not work. Down goes the Ezreal. Peanut survives for just about forever. And Chovy's like, all right, well, I guess that's enough work that I've done here today as HLE clean up the rest.
Freak's like, all right, I'm removing that item from the game. Sundered Sky Prox, he's getting in that fight. He's so fed. He has Sterak's. And he's just like, I can go on this, by the way. And the rest of the team follows up. Zeka's got his ult. And Hanwha Life turned what looked like maybe a good catch from Gen.G into a potential team fight win into a complete wash. Chovy lives, but I don't think he alone will be able to stop these inhibitors from being ripped off the map. And Hanwha Life with Baron for 45 seconds more could get even more if anyone from Gen.G steps too far over the line here. And they're angling for it. They can get just a single kill, they could end, but they don't have to. They'll be happy with the 2 inhibs, and they'll back away. It's gotten him out of a few sticky situations. It hasn't really given them too many proactive wins. They had like the turret defense topside with it as well, but they've just been behind the 8 ball for all of this game, and that's not where Arise wants to be.
And as you can see in this goal graph as well, it has been all HLE. This Xayah is so frightening. 2 levels ahead as well as SolarFlare going to just connect on the edge towards Canyon. Otherwise, not too much more going to happen. There's the engage under delay. But he is so deceptively tanky, it's ludicrous. Takes down Canyon. Peanut able to grab kill credit for that. And now Gen.G down a member. Let's see what can happen here. Oh my goodness, it's a blender. Into the bloodbath they go as Viper free hitting. Takes down the Yorick. And it's another kill for Peanut there at the same time. Chovy just watching as his Nexus turrets get obliterated. Let's see what he can do. I don't think it's anything at all. Instead, they're going to be preparing for a Game 3 against HLE here in the Legend group. And maybe there's finally a new contender for that top 3 spot.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.